in the Steele report, if you remember, I was on Steele about not doing redetermination. You're now saying that you're catching up on that. And then there was talk about all these people that were out of state but yet are on Arkansas Medicaid, that was going to be corrected and fixed. So you're telling me now that if you check the people that you're doing eligibility on, they all live in Arkansas?
As we're going forward, once we find out or suspect that may have been the case, we are going and then asking that person to verify or checking addresses that we get, whether it's from a provider or from a carrier. But we did, based on the work the Stevens Group had done, did go and look at each of those individuals that they had cited as having out-of-state addresses. If they truly had moved out of state, we ended their coverage. In many cases, it may have been that they actually had an incorrect address. That happens to us, unfortunately. Or it may be that they've now lived in Texarkana, Texas versus Texarkana, Arkansas. But that is certainly something that we take very seriously. And now that we're on the verge of completing the backlog, one of the things we want to focus on in the new year is really focusing on the accuracy of the individuals that we have on the program in relation to factors such as their address, their income, those sorts of things. So certainly at any point in time, there could be somebody who has an out-of-state address, but as soon as we are aware of that, we act on that and then either go through the process to close their case or to have them update their address.
So the current, your grade on the current system that's working, you would give it an A, B, C, D, F?
Well, considering that we've got a number of procurements that are out there now that involve IT, I don't really think that I should speak to how we would grade our current systems. I don't want to.
It is much improved, Senator.
But we spent 200. We spent 60 million that went and was wasted. We've spent 200 million on this other that was. You're not willing to give it a grade?
It's a tool with which our employees can now work and get the work done and much more accurately even than they could 2 months ago. It's receiving a lot of upgrades.
You sound like you're saying A minus.
I didn't, I don't know if I ever got an A minus in school myself, and I wouldn't grade it higher than that.
If we're paying $200 million and we've already wasted 60 million, I think the expectation was we were going to get an A, but you're not willing to give it.
We're headed toward an A. We're making a lot of improvements with it.
And I will testify that we've had some great reports of their success in the health committee, so I'm happy.
Okay, all right, and to reiterate, Tom is going to send out an email to you that had questions, and we may have to get with Mr. Price and try and have some follow-up. My question is, what were the number of people in the medical health group in 2013, in nursing facilities, and what was the price per person that went up? You also said that there was reports, I don't know that you really answered it, checking, we know we're checking the financials of some of these people in the behavioral or the mental health group, and that comes out in the newspapers, but you didn't seem to think that you're producing monthly reports or anybody that they're checking up on the other areas.
There are reports, and like I said, we'll certainly be happy to provide a listing of those as a follow-up to the meeting.
So you can email them to me of what you've done so far in these other facilities to check up and make sure they're actually charging what they should be charging and they're having controls or findings. You're saying in these other reports you'll find findings of where they've overbilled or overcharged, so there's been corrective action taken?
In the reports that, in terms of we have regular on-site inspections in terms of that staff and contractors go out and pursue, and within that there are, in many cases, or in some cases there are findings both that are financial as well as some that are programmatic, and so like I said, we'll be happy to provide some information on that.
And a little bit of relevance